You'll have to excuse the setup for this video. I literally just got back from the gym. This was a very top of mind subject for me. And that is, after being in the trades industry for a decade now and working at a plumbing business, generating $1 million a month, and now going on to start this agency where we've actually generated $100 million in cash collected for our clients, there are a few things that stand out that will prevent you from scaling your trades-based business. And I thought it was very important to actually detail what those things are so that if you're currently trying to scale your trades business or you're thinking about going to that next step in order to get to that 8-figure business mark, there are some serious things you need to consider before actually doing so. Otherwise, you're going to end up very stressed. You're going to waste a lot of time and you're going to waste a lot of money. So I thought this video was very important to at least make you aware of what it actually takes in order to scale a trades-based business to that level. I'm not going to talk about marketing in any way whatsoever, even though that's primarily what we do. And that is because if you have good marketing and you've got a good partner, you've got a good team, maybe internal, external, doesn't matter, that's not actually going to prevent you from scaling your trades-based business. There's actually these 3 to 4 things that I'm going to talk about instead that I would say are more important than the marketing. Yes, the marketing is great. However, you can hire me, and if you pay me enough, I can get you thousands of leads right now. But if you don't have these few things, you're not going to scale whatsoever, and you're just going to end up wasting a lot of time and money. Let's go through them. I would say number 1 is you can't operationally handle it whatsoever. So let's say you look at your calendar now, you're like, oh yeah, I've got this many gaps, I can take on this many jobs. And let's just say you start doing some marketing, right? You start getting those leads in, you start calling the leads, you close them, sweet as, now we're making money. And then you get to a point and you're like, oh, I can't actually handle any more work. I'm going to stop the marketing so I can take care of this work. Now, the whole point of scaling is to basically get more work than you can handle. That way you've got more cash flow coming in. You use that cash flow in order to hire a bigger team or hire whatever investments you need to make in order to scale. When you have the mentality of thinking you need to stop in order to keep up with what you have is the wrong mentality. And what's going to happen is you're going to go through this start-stop cycle. And it is literally a cycle I went through with my own agency years ago, where I would run ads, I'd get a bunch of clients, then the clients would become too much. I have to stop all the advertising, all the marketing that we're doing for ourselves to take care of that workload. That has prevented me from scaling a lot, and it's prevented several of my clients from scaling as well because they just can't actually operationally handle the work, and therefore they stop doing marketing. Now, how do you scale when you stop doing marketing? You don't. So that's one thing. Super important. You need to have these systems in place ready to go and expect the best and worst case thing to happen, because it's probably going to happen. If you're going to do marketing, you're going to go all out, you want to scale this business, you need to have that stuff ready. When you have that stuff ready, scaling becomes so much easier. So that's number 1. Number 2, are you actually mentally capable of scaling your business? And what I mean by that is, it's going to get stressful. It's going to get really stressful. You're going to have times where you're going to have so much work you don't know what to do. And there are scenarios where sometimes you get a little less work. You've got this bigger team, but for some reason or another, you start getting less leads, or you start getting a bunch of leads, but they don't turn into sales. Like, there are a lot of bad and risky scenarios to be in that you might not like to be in, but you're going to be in them anyway. So if you can't handle that level of stress and it's not for you and you don't want to actually deal with the stress, you're quite happy being where you are. Like, reality is you might be very happy being exactly where you are, and let's just say you're making 50K a month, you're making 200K a month, doesn't matter. If you are happy being where you are, there is no reason why you should put yourself through that stressful situation, because the higher up you go, the more stressful it gets. It doesn't get any easier. Are you mentally capable of actually scaling a trades-based business? And seriously ask yourself that, because if you're not, there is no point in trying to scale your business. That's number 2. Number 3, and this is a real biggie, you don't actually have a proper sales process. You don't have someone that can sell over the phone correctly. You don't have a local sales team. Now, nothing inherently wrong with remote sales team that work in other countries. However, we've found in a lot of cases, people like speaking to local people. When the homeowner trying to get a job done can tell that they're not speaking to someone local, well, you instantly break rapport, you lose trust, you are instantly less valuable than your competitors, and therefore they will go to someone else. that is something serious to consider. Are you happy with lower conversion rates because it's a cheaper workforce, but you're going to lose sales out of it? So you need to work out, is it worth having a local sales team that can speak to the locals and really develop that rapport and trust with your customers? Or are you better off having the remote sales team, losing a lot of sales, but getting a cheaper workforce? So that's something you really have to weigh up. And I prefer working with clients that have a good sales team. They've got a really dialed in sales process, like they literally just need leads, because you will just convert less. You will make less money. That's the reality. You get all these, I could get you not even 1,000 leads. Let's just say we get 50 really high quality leads, like they're pre-qualified, all the bells and whistles, and you still convert less. Well, at some point marketing can't help you and you need to just go there and sell. If you can't sell, or your sales team can't sell, you will lose money. You will not scale as fast. So that's number 3. Number 4, and this is a really interesting one, is your branding and your customer service, or should I say the level of customer service that you have and you have trained on your team. When you have really good branding, you've got a great website, you've got a great online reputation, so that includes your social profiles, it includes all the mail you send out, it includes what you give to your customers, what you present to them, all that good stuff. Your competitors that are doing that, and if you're not doing it, they will just sell more because they are just more trustworthy, or at least they are perceived as more trustworthy. And that's because they've invested the time and effort and money to actually look trustworthy. In the trades industry, especially over time, there is far less trust in the industry because there's a lot of cowboys out there that do cheap work. And a lot of customers are willing to pay for more expensive work knowing that they are getting the value. How do you show the value? You look better online, your customer service is a lot better, you're friendly, you're not trying to rip people off, or at least you're not trying to look like you're ripping people off. It really helps when you invest the time and money into the branding, the sign writing on your vehicles, like everything from start to finish is just an easy flow. The customer doesn't get confused, the customer knows what to do, they know exactly who's coming. All these branding aspects just make a huge difference. How do you treat the customer before the call? How do you treat them during the job? How do you treat them after the job? Because how you treat them in all these different avenues is what's going to grow your reputation, and it's what's going to give you referrals. So if you don't invest the time and money into it, you don't invest the time and money into your reputation, if people can see you just want a quick job and you just want to make money, well, guess what? You're going to get that money, but you're not going to get the repeat business, and that's going to halt you from scaling your trades-based business. That's pretty much it from me. I don't want to drag this video out too long. Those are just 4 very key things to consider if you want to scale your trades-based business. Those 4 things alone will seriously either hinder or completely scale your business to the moon. If you found this video interesting, follow the channel for more. If you want a marketing partner that actually understands how to scale a business, not just get leads for the sake of leads, you can click the link below, you can view our website, and you can actually book a call with my team to see, can we help your trades-based business scale to the moon?